Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Avatar Fire and Ash comes out December 19th, as well as Avatar Frontiers of Pandora Fire DLC for the game. So I figured I needed to make a video on everything you know so far about it. Avatar Fire and Ash's runtime is confirmed to be around 3 hours and 12 minutes long, which is about the same time as Avatar The Way of Water. But James Cameron has hinted that it could be slightly longer. Usually when films release their runtime to the public, they don't change it of its preceding months of the movie's release. So I doubt that he will change the movie's runtime and add scenes to it. What he has said is that the movie is more emotional and packed with content, per se. He's advertising it as a deeper movie than the previous two. James has also said that Avatar 3 could be the last movie of the series. He's planning on making Avatar 4 and 5, but he says that if Avatar 3 doesn't do as well, then it could stop there in the story and it'd be fine that way. Another thing we need to talk about is the actual VFX works themselves. While principal photography usually lasts a couple of months, VFX works for these kind of movies are really what takes the most time. Everything is painted over with VFX, no matter what shot, no matter what frame, everything is painted over with VFX. They've been deep in this process for a long time, and even James Cameron said himself that he is way more on time with the VFX productions than he was with The Way of Water. If you take Avatar, released in 2009, and compare it with the trailers we've seen of Avatar 3, quality almost looks very similar. Yes, Avatar 3 does look better than Avatar 1, but the quality hasn't changed. Avatar still holds up to this day. It's beautiful. The rumored budget for Avatar Fire and Ash is $250 million. This budget is due to the compatibility and the work done in order to be compatible with the camera equipment and 3D rendering software. What I mean is, one of the things they had to do for Avatar Way of Water is they had to put these clear translucent balls over the water because they wanted to film in water, but the reflections would be too bright, so it becomes very expensive. Now let's talk about the story and the characters. Kiri, played by Sigourney Weaver, is stepping into a much bigger role than before. You could already tell in Way of Water that she was different. Her connection to Awa was much different. She had those mysterious powers, and Fire and Ash is going to push those powers even further. She is caught in between two worlds, one that completely believes in Awa, and one that has forsaken Awa. The Sully family isn't the same either. Natayam's death left a hole that changed them forever. Jake and Interior are still trying to hold the family together, but grief has reshaped their lives. Loak, Spider, and Took are also growing up really fast, and this story isn't about discovering new lands anymore. It's about healing and finding strength within the ashes they've lost. Another thing that's really important is that Loak will be the narrator for Avatar 3. This could mean a lot of different things. What I believe is going to happen is a change in perspective, because James has always said that he wants to see both sides of the story and two different perspectives. The Na'vi aren't all good, so I think that this narration will almost act like a medium, because Jake is good and the Ash people are bad. So Loak, the narrator, can navigate that in sort of his own way, because in Avatar The Way of Water, he was seen as an outcast. Now the new clans are where Avatar Fire and Ash get really interesting. We haven't seen many different clans, or we haven't gone deeper in depth to new clans besides in Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, the video game. The Ash people's leader is Varane, played by Ona Chaplin. They're a tribe forged by volcanic destruction. They believe that Awa abandoned them when their land burned, and that rage fuels everything they do. Then there's Pelek, played by David Thewlis. He's the leader of the Wind Traders clan. The Wind Traders are a nomadic clan that moves through the skies, acting as both merchants and messengers. They could be a bridge or a spark that ignites a bigger conflict, but not much is known about them. And also we have another character that returns, Quaritch. He's said to become more layered, less about revenge and more about belief. In the trailers, we've seen him covered in red ash. Quaritch is trying to connect the RDA with the Ash people, and this could be harmful to Na'vi civilizations. I think two things could happen. Quaritch joins the Ash people and connects with the RDA, and they team up to go against Jake Sully and his people. Or, I think, Quaritch joins the Ash people and forsakes the RDA and becomes more Na'vi, less about revenge. But I don't know, maybe something else could happen. We don't know much about how the Ash people think, besides the fact that they have forsaken Awa, and they're kind of like the bad guys. The Ash people are defined by survival and adaptation, and they live in regions turned to wasteland. On the other hand, the Wind Traders cross all territories, acting like Pandora's version of political diplomats. You can feel the tension between the rising clans. It feels like James Cameron is trying to build towards a full-scale civil war. And honestly, I love it because one of the most negative parts about Avatar is the story. And I think that this really thought out story could be really good for what this franchise needs. Cameron said that the title Fire and Ash represents a vicious cycle, destruction, loss, and rebirth. He says that it's not just about fire, it's about pain, emotion, fury, transformation. The Ash people's rejection to Eywa creates a spiritual fracture across Pandora. Kiri becomes the center of that conflict. Her powers, her faith, and what she represents might completely redefine what Eywa even is. That's what makes this one different from the others. It's not just about good versus evil anymore. It's about what happens when nature loses faith in you. From what we've seen in the trailer, this is easily the most visually stunning and emotional, intense film in the series. There's just one shot that absolutely floored me. Varang standing on a ridge of charged stone, and she says,
"Your goddess has no dominion here."
That line gives us a lot of context and intel about the Ash people. They don't have any moral values or beliefs compared to what the other Na'vi have. It shows that their life has been completely reshaped from what happened to their clan. You feel every ounce of pain that shaped their character from that quote. They're not villains, they're survivors who were failed by their god. Another big thing we see in the trailers, this could change everything we know about humans on Pandora. In the trailer, we see Spider breathing air. We see him breathing on Pandora without his usual mask. Fans are speculating, is this a sign of genetic modification, spiritual intervention through Kiri or Eywa, or even a hybridization? Whatever it is, it looks like Spider may no longer be purely human in this world, and that shift raises serious stakes for what it means to belong on Pandora. In Avatar: The Way of Water, the whole point of the RDA is to try to colonize Avatar for humans. So if humans can now breathe air, this is going to be a very significant change in the story for Avatar 3, 4, and 5. Another Avatar update is we're getting a new DLC for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Ubisoft just announced that they're going to be releasing a new DLC called From the Ashes on December 19th, the same day that the movie comes out. You'll play as Solek, who is already a character in the game, and you'll be exploring the burned regions of Pandora, dealing directly with the aftermath of the Ash people's actions. These actions will be from the movie, which is why it's releasing the same day. The stories between the movie and the DLC are connected, expanding the world in real time. It's a pretty smart move. You'll literally be able to experience the story from two different angles. I'm not going to be covering that all right now. I'll save that for a separate video. Anyways, for me, this movie feels personal, both for the franchise and me as a creator. The idea that we're finally seeing Pandora torn apart by fire, only to maybe rise again from the ashes, is honestly poetic, and I can't wait to see it unfold. So that's everything we know about Avatar Fire and Ash. I'd love to hear your comments and your opinions, theories in the comment section below. If you're as excited for Avatar 3 as I am, reach out in the comments. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to be posting some more Avatar content because it's my favorite thing. And I'll be making an Everything We Know About Avatar Frontiers of Pandora from the Ashes DLC. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.